one of the reasons that I exist is to help good people take their power back from a system that not only was designed to keep you broke, but profits off of you being broke. And I'm not doing that for the sake of money. I'm doing it for the sake of choice and change, not only for yourself, but for generations to come.
Hello, my love. It's time for you to get ready. Because every single thing that you have learned about money, wealth creation, success, and hard work is about to get flipped right on its head. Welcome to the Soul Powered Podcast. I'm your host, Rebecca Kiger. I'm a financial advisor turned wealth energetics coach, and I have almost 2 decades experience helping people reach their financial goals. And after all that time of studying the human psychology around money, I learned this, that wealth creation is not just a game of strategy and spreadsheets. It is a game of accessing your soul power. And that's exactly what I'm going to teach you how to do during our time together. Here on this podcast, we blend nervous system regulation, spiritual alignment, money energetics, and more so that you can expand your income and your inner peace. This is the podcast where strategy meets soul and your next level expansion begins. This isn't just a podcast. It is quite literally a portal to your next level, and your higher self is inviting you to step into it. So if you're ready to stop hustling for your worth and finally claim it so that you too can make more, save more, and finally live more, then you're in the right place. Let's rise.
Hello, my love, and welcome back to the Soul Powered Podcast from the episode that was not about to happen today. It's probably going to happen tomorrow, but here we are. I'm so excited. I wasn't feeling well earlier, so that's why I say I was going to do this tomorrow. You know how sometimes you just have to give yourself a nap? Even as an adult, it's like either you're feeling tired or you're feeling sick or whatever, and you just nap and you just give your body what it needs. What is so hard about that? But we push ourselves. We all do. I know this, and I still push myself past. And my body's like, hey, I want to rest. I've been working a little bit more hours, put it that way, over the last couple weeks because one of my assistants is going on maternity leave. And so I'm like, okay, I need to get certain aspects of the role done so I can hand those off to her before she leaves, wrap up some things, tie up some loose ends, etc. And I'm doing a lot more on a daily basis than I have in a little while because of that. And I'm also onboarding a new assistant, and I'm so excited. They'll both be here. But I'm so excited because new things are on the horizon. New things are not even on the horizon anymore. They're here. And this is what this episode is about, is why these new things are coming. And I'm so excited because I'm really glad that I feel better, actually, because I was so excited to record this episode. And then I was feeling awful earlier, and now I'm not. So it's great. Okay, last thing that we will comment on before we dive in. Do not make fun of the breaking out situation that I have going on here. It was my brother's 40th birthday, so we went to this beautiful steakhouse, and it was amazing. It was family style, and they brought you around all these appetizers, and it was it's all you could eat appetizers. They just kept bringing them out. Okay, we're just going to talk about what food was there because it was delicious. There was a salad. There was 2 different types of pasta, Alfredo and red sauce. They had chicken parm, they had steak, they had fresh mozzarella as the appetizer. They had fried eggplant. Okay, so that all these different things. Then at the very end, they bring out dessert. And it is 2 massive pieces of cake. One's chocolate, one's vanilla. All of this ice cream. It was so much freaking food, but not only that, every single time that I eat ice cream, this is what happens. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Then, okay, so what? That was Saturday? Or no, that was Friday night. Here we are on Wednesday of the following week. And these are nowhere. The end is nowhere in sight. If I cough at all, it's because I wasn't feeling well earlier. And I still have a little bit of a scratchy throat. Now, for the episode. I'm really excited to talk about this because this is something that's been birthing through me for the last really 4 years or so. It actually goes back to the creation of this podcast because I never shared the origin of the name of this podcast or how this came about. But I was sitting and talking to Eric one day and I was like, babe, I'm ready to start the podcast. Okay. I was changing the name of the podcast because it used to be called the Elevate You Show. Isn't that cute? Elevate You. I don't know. Elevate University was the name of my kind of overarching brand at the time. But then when I realized what trademarks were, I knew how to change it because somebody else had already had that. So I was sitting there talking about I need to rename the podcast. And, this is perfect because I also know that I want to rebrand, that I want to be more intentional about what the name of this podcast is, how I'm going to help people, how I'm going to reach people. And I was sitting there talking to Eric one day and I'm like, babe, I want it to be something like, I want to help people step into their soul's mission. Yes, money is the Trojan horse. Yes, money is the first thing that we work on. It's the foundation of this work, y'all. The reason I talk about money is not because I want to keep talking about money because it's been a part of my adult life and I've worked in this industry for 20 years. That's not why. It's also not because I grew up below the poverty line and didn't have any of it. Money has been a huge part of my life for years, whether I was focused on not having it, or working with it. And so for a long time, and actually 4 years ago, as I'm having this conversation with Eric, I'm like, I don't know if I want to just teach on money anymore, babe. I don't want to just talk about money. I want to talk about it from a lens of what it provides you, what it gives you in terms of opportunities and choices and the ability to live your life the way you want to, the way your soul wants to. And so we're sitting there and I'm like, just racking my brain. I'm like, this is before ChatGPT as well. So I couldn't have gone in and said, hey, help me with some words, which I don't do that anyway in terms of my own inspirational things. I still believe that we need to keep our intuition to ourselves, meaning AI is a big part of where it is that we're all going. And that's great because it can be a tool to support us. But make sure that if you're using it consciously, you're using it intentionally. You're not just going to it for answers, but you have some answers first and you go for refinement or you go for support. You go for some different ideas because that's a whole other conversation. But there was no ChatGPT then. So he and I are sitting here just going back and forth and we're like, okay, soul aligned, right? This is what I'm thinking about doing my podcast. What's the name? And I'm like, I don't like that. Soul portal. Soul, and I'm just going over and over. And he goes, oh, powered. And I'm like, oh my God. It's a play on solar power, of course. And I'm like, that's it. That's the name. So once I got it, I renamed the podcast, but then I didn't really change much in my business. I think back then I was really still afraid. I was afraid to own what it meant for me to be a spiritual money leader, someone who does actually help people with making more money, expanding their capacity to receive, making more, saving more, holding on to more, bringing on more clients, having more opportunities from a place of this isn't just about money. This is about the ripple effect that changes in your life when you have more of it. I don't think I was ready to own that though. And so nothing about my business changed. I didn't change the name of my programs at the time. I didn't change the way I was delivering things at the time. And there's nothing wrong with that innately. But the more that I started to step into my own divinity, go through my own awakening, death, rebirth cycles, and diving into these incredibly potent and powerful, energetic ways of being in spiritual practices and working with shamans and working in the quantum world, I realized that I don't want to talk about money just for the sake of making money. And I can't deny that anymore, and I'm not hiding that here. There's enough other financial advisors that you could go to if you just want traditional financial advice. You want to learn how to invest, you want to learn how to budget, you want to learn how to properly set up your accounts, to structure your, estate planning. All of that can be done through traditional financial planning. If you want to learn how to do all of those things, but do it with someone who understands mindset and, energetics and things like that, there are other coaches that will teach you if you're just out here looking for money. If you want, that's it. Like, I just want money for the sake of money. I want to have as much of it as humanly possible. There are people who will teach you how to do that. I am specifically, and I believe this with all my heart, one of the reasons that I exist is to help good people take their power back from a system that not only was designed to keep you broke, but profits off of you being broke. And I'm not doing that for the sake of money. I'm doing it for the sake of choice and change, not only for yourself, but for generations to come. Imagine for a second that you're doing this work. You're healing your relationship with money. You're healing your lineage line. Like, it goes back ancestrally or even past lives, depending on what your belief system is. You're healing your mother line, your father line, societal wounding around money. All of these programs that you've been running on, think about it like a computer. You've been running on a program. If you think that your thoughts are all yours, I think by now, if you're on this podcast, you probably know that is not true. They're not all yours. There's many studies, and we can talk more about that. Specifically during our programming years, that's why it's called our programming years, from ages 0 when we're born to the age of 7. That's when we get the install. We don't have an analytical mind yet. You don't have a critical faculty that questions things yet, because you don't have enough information about the way that things work on this planet yet. So you're gathering that information in those first pivotal years. I always joke around and say it's like God slapped a GoPro on your forehead and you've been scanning the environment about what's safe, what do we do, what do we not do, how do we show up around things, how do we handle money, how do we show up around relationships. It's all of it. And then by the time that you're in your teenage years, you're pretty much who it is that you are until you decide to change it. But you have to know that there's something that is programmed that you don't want anymore to know that you have the power to change it, if that makes sense. So the reason that this work is so powerful is not for the sake of money alone. I am here to help people, good people, and I work with mostly women, bring the power back into the hands of those of us who are going to use it for good and who are also going to use it for a bigger purpose, a bigger impact. There's something that has been placed on your heart as an assignment in this lifetime. I call this your alignment assignment. It's the thing that before you came here, you signed a contract. You said, this is my alignment assignment. This is the thing I'm going to do before I die. This is how I'm going to reach people. This is how I'm going to help the world. This is what I'm going to do. And you signed on the dotted line and then you forgot. And the reason that you forgot is because the world has programmed you to be another cog in the system. They've taught you that you need to go to school and you need to outsource your authority, your intuition. They taught you what's good and what's bad. And that listening to the man and working really hard and doing what everybody else has told you to do is the way. But your soul has been over here the whole time like, no, I don't want to go that way. That's why it feels like there's so much anxiety when you're not in alignment with your soul's path. That's why people search their whole life for meaning and purpose and fulfillment. And they search for it in external things. They search for it in money, in relationships, in sex and drugs and alcohol and having more babies, procreating because they think that's going to fix it. Making themselves look better. And I'm a proponent for whatever it is that you want to do, whatever's actually going to make you happy in life. Go for it. Do it. I'm not judging any of that. I have hair extensions. I have lash extensions. Okay? I have makeup on. I am okay with whatever you feel like makes you feel comfortable and good. And I probably won't have this all one day. But right now, I enjoy it. That's what living a soul-powered life means, is to have choice in how you live your own life. And recognize that you don't need to outsource your power. That no one else or nothing else outside of you can actually make you happy. The only thing that can make you happy and fulfilled is you. But here's the problem. The problem is that most people don't recognize that they're even a cog in the system. That they're even stuck in the matrix. That they're looping on autopilot, making the same decisions every single day. If you're here, I know that you are either breaking out of that or you've broken out of that. And you know there's something more. But maybe you don't know what that more is yet. Or maybe you're still searching for that more. Because you're searching for the thing that your soul is here to do. Not just to acquire more stuff. And again, it's okay to want stuff. It's okay to want nice things. It's okay to do all of that. But at the end of the day, are you fulfilled? When you lay your head down at night, are you saying, I am satisfied with the way today went? I did everything in my power to show up fully in congruency with my higher self. I lived out my purpose today. I made an impact on someone. I decided to fulfill on my alignment assignment. And there's a lot of people who are living in fear that just aren't able to do that yet. Because they're afraid of being seen. They have money wounds. They have stories and fear and all of the stuff that keeps coming up for them. And you see, the reason that I say that money is the Trojan horse, it's the foundation for this work, is because in the current system that we all live under, money is the thing that makes the world go round. It is. We can't deny that. So instead of denying it and saying, no, I don't need money to live, it's not that important to me, wouldn't it make sense for a society that wants to control its people to tell them money's not that important? It's the root of all evil anyway. It's not that important. Also, you'll be a bad person if you want it. You're going to be greedy. You're going to end up like those greedy people. It's bullshit. Doesn't it make sense that they would tell us that? While they're walking with bags in hand and have trillions of dollars? Make it make sense. It's time to wake up. It's time for a new path. It's time for a new paradigm. It's time for us to take the power back. Because that's the only way that things shift. Everybody talks about and complains about the current circumstances of our environment. And I get it. There's shit going on in this world that is unfathomable. I understand that. I'm not immune to any of those things. I'm aware of those things, and I also know, what am I doing about it? How can I, through my actions, through my voice, through me showing up, how can I shift the trajectory? How can I shift the paradigm? Because if I'm not doing anything about it, I don't need to be complaining about it. Because energy goes where attention flows. So I'm not going to sit there and feed a timeline that I don't want to live in anymore. By talking about it, by harping on it, complaining about it. No, I'm going to take matters into my own hands, and I am going to do something about it. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I have decided to finally launch the collective community that has been trying to be birthed through me. Forgive me, universe. It's okay. I had lessons to learn. For 4 years now. And what I've been doing over the last 4 years is I've been becoming the type of person who can lead this movement. And now that I'm this person, I know I can lead it. I know I have what it takes. And I know that my work isn't for everyone, but for the people that it's for, it's everything. It'll change everything for them. And so I've decided to publicly announce the launching of the incredible, amazing community called the Soul Powered Society. I got this vision the other day of the masses. Okay, let's just imagine a sea of people in some place like New York. Okay, all of these people going in this direction. So this represents society. It's like society, everybody's going in this direction, right? Everyone's moving over here, and you're this little tiny person, and you're like, okay, but I want to go the opposite way. I don't want to do what all of them are doing. I don't want to participate in the system that is designed to keep me broke. I don't want to go to school for 1,000,000 years, to work for another 1,000,000 years, and then wake up and my life is over and I'm just dead now. And I got to do it all over again, or whatever happens after that. I've been a retirement planner for 20 years. Okay. I can tell you right now, most people are not truly fulfilled when they get to the end of their life, when they subscribe to what society has in store for them. I decided a really long time ago I was not going to be one of those people. And I decided that anyone who came into my life, anyone that was willing to listen and take the advice and place some action behind it, I'll give them what they need to know to never have to be that cog in the system. But you see, when all this sea of people are going in this direction and you're this one person and you're trying to go against that, can you imagine? You're getting bumped around, you're getting moved around, you have the potential to get trampled over. It's hard. And people out here are not talking about how hard it is. I'm not talking about hard from a traditional sense of working hard and, laborious. I'm talking about the mental fucking strength that it takes to go against the grain, to go against everything that you've ever been taught is unbelievable. To decide to quit your job when people are breathing down your neck and saying it's a terrible decision. I had people tell me, you're a terrible mother if you do this. Because you're not going to make it. It's hard out there. Most businesses fail within the first 5 years. You know how many people had something to say about me leaving my job? You know how many limiting beliefs were thrown at me? Do you know how many harsh words were said to me? And now I'm sitting here today, actually living my soul-powered life. 5 years later, I can look back and be like, oh, maybe I was right all along. Turns out my soul was right. Turns out I can trust it. Turns out the guidance, my desires, all of those things can be trusted. Turns out this is the right way for me. But it's not lost on me that you're this one person and you're trying to go against a sea of people. But what if, for 1 second, someone like me says, hey, I see you. I'm going that way too. And I walk up and I lock my arms with you and we start walking together. And then someone, another soul-powered sister says, hey, I'm going that way too. And then people start turning around and they're like, I don't want to go this way. I don't even know why I'm going this way. Everybody else is going this way. I just didn't have enough courage to do it. And then they start locking arms. And we all are now forming this mass of people who are like, but there's another way. There's another way. You see, there's another way where we don't have to be in survival mode around money anymore. We don't have to be so hyper-focused and stressed out thinking about money and look at it like a tunnel vision. It's like when you're so in survival mode around money, it's the only fucking thing you can worry about. It's the only thing you can think about. It's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. But when you don't have that concern, who are you then? Who are you when you're on vacation? Who are you when you're resting? Who are you when you finally give yourself a minute to just be? That's who you really are. Maybe you haven't even found that person yet. And that's what I want to help you do inside of the society. Use money as a tool to not have vacation being some fleeting moment where you get time at the beach and you're resting and you're loving it, or you're in nature and you're doing the things and you're thinking, oh, I wish I could do this more often. I remember those days. That's my every single day now. My morning routine, not saying that you have to do this, is 5 hours long. 5 hours. I need 5 hours to myself now before my day starts. Now, is that a bit extreme? Yeah, and it took me 5 years to get here. It used to be 5 minutes. But my point is, I have my cup full before I ever even consider trying to give from it. Because I have time. You see, they lied to you about what the real currency is. You're working for $1. You're chasing the next thing. But in all reality, they print more money every day. I never found anyone that can print more time. And that's what people really want. That's the luxury. So how are you going to start to unlearn all the things that you learned about working more hours and more time and grinding more? If that worked, my love, you would be rich by now. You wouldn't be listening to this podcast, most likely. Because I know that you're a hard worker. I know you've tried all the things. But what if it wasn't about that? What if it was about becoming the type of person? Becoming an energetic match. Matching the frequency of overflow so that the universe can send it to you. Even while you're laying on the beach. Even while you're relaxing on your deck. Sunbathing on a Tuesday afternoon because you can. Even when you have a 5-hour morning routine. The universe started sending me money every time I go on vacation now. This was inspired by one of my clients, by the way, Vivi. Shout out if you're listening. I love you. But every time Vivi would go on vacation, or holiday, she calls it, because she lives overseas, she started to receive money. Once she started to deprogram all the things and then reinstall new ones, it's like the universe's like cosmic joke of being like, you don't think you're worthy of receiving just because of who you are? I'm going to show you how worthy you are. Go on vacation, sis. That's when I'll send the money. And it became this joke, this running joke, because every time she'd go, she'd get money out of nowhere. She'd be like, Rebecca, I can't even believe that this is happening again. And so I borrowed the inspiration. I borrowed it. I'm like, well, if she can do it, I want to do it. I want money on vacation. And it's like when you're tapped in and you're tuned in and you're living and you're in flow and you're in the generous present moment, you're releasing detachment to, I need to make this happen, because you're already in the state of abundance. When you're on vacation, you're in a state of abundance most of the time, right? If you're going somewhere like that's in nature. I mean, think about how abundant nature is. When you walk into nature, there is no lack of leaves or blades of grass or trees. When you're at the ocean, there's no lack of water. You're innately tapped in and tuned in to the energy of overflow from Mother Earth herself. And so we need to learn how to tap into that more often, to become an energetic match, to become aware of the ways that you're even holding yourself back. Maybe you don't even know that. Maybe you don't even know what your blind spots are. That's why they're called blind spots, by the way. You can't see them. But other people can help guide you towards them and say, hey, I noticed this. Or, hey, here's a set of journal prompts for you to figure out what that is. Or here's a way that you can start to uncover how your nervous system is blocking you. Why don't you work through this? Why don't you uncover it so you can stop holding yourself back? I'm telling you now, mark my words, this movement is going to be massive. And I'm not saying that from an egoic place. I'm saying it because it's taken me 4 years to announce it, because for 4 years I've known how big it's going to be, and I was too afraid to lead it. Every time it came knocking on my door, I'm like, not yet, universe. I'm not ready. Okay, I'll come back. Because the universe is coming from unconditional love. Your higher self is coming from unconditional love. You can't miss opportunities that are for you. But every time my higher self came knocking, I said, I'm not ready yet. And so it pretty much dragged me by my hair and forced me into all of these crazy lessons that I've learned over the last few years, which at some point we can dive into if you want. But through those lessons, I became the version of me that I can tell you is not only qualified, ready, and willing to lead this movement, but I believe at this point that I was born to do it. Because one thing I will tell you, if you're a fellow rebel like me, who just doesn't want to follow the rules, I don't want to go with society's plan for me, simply because I don't want to be told what to do, number one, but it sucks. It sucks. I don't want that path. And I don't want to start a business where all I am is stressed about money, so that's the only thing that I'm worried about. It's the only thing I can think of in my business. You see, nobody tells you that when you quit your corporate job or whatever kind of job that you have to go start a business, or you have a side gig now, or you want to start a social media career, or you want to do something different, you want to step into a sales role, something that's going to require you to look in the mirror and see where you're blocking yourself, where your money beliefs come up, your visibility beliefs come up. All of these fears begin to come up. Nobody prepares you for that until now. Because I believe that living a soul-powered life, having choice with what it is that you do with your time, your money, your experiences, is an act of rebellion in and of itself against the system that is designed to keep you broke. So if you're a fellow rebel like me, this is the place that you're going to be able to break free from that system, to step in to the soul-powered lifestyle that you know is meant for you. Even if it's just a little part of you that's like, hey, same thing with me. Knocking on your door like, hey, there's this idea, there's this thing, there's this podcast, there's this business idea, there's this side hustle, there's this new venture. Are you ready yet? And you're like, no, I'm not ready yet. And you're still like, okay, I'll come back. But see, what happens is the voice gets stronger, you see. And you even get more resistant to it. That's the best part about the whole thing, because there's a reason for that. The things that are tied to your purpose, you tend to have more resistance around. That's why I'm saying, if you're trying to do this, my love, you're trying to go against the grain, you're trying to do it all alone, you got it all wrong. It's a nervous system response. You're telling yourself you don't need help, you don't need support, you don't need anybody. I can do this alone. Look how far it's gotten you. And even if it's gotten you to success, you know that quote, if you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. That's what we're going to do inside of the Soul Powered Society. So I have all the information in the show notes for you. This is the official launch of the society where doors are not going to be open all of the time. So I invite you to check it out now. If you're interested in becoming a founding member, get your butt in there, okay? Because we're doing all kinds of founding member discounts and founding member bonuses and all the things. You can learn more as well at the training in the show notes, okay? But my invite to you is to sit with, do you want to continue to do this alone? Or are you ready for a community of soul-powered sisters that are going in the same direction as you, that you can co-regulate with, that you can learn from, that you can hold accountable and have them hold you accountable, that you can rise together, that we can band together and raise the vibration of the collective. There's power in numbers. The first thing that you need to do is work on your own, right? It's always you first. And that's what I'm going to help you do. We're going to set the foundation of your financial empire that you're going to build, because it's your responsibility to build it. You came here just like me to change the trajectory of the way we do things here. Your way of doing that may not be the same as me, but it is part of your mission. It's your alignment assignment too. But some of you are so scared to step into it because you still have these wounds. Some of you fear the responsibility that comes with all of that money or visibility or power. If those things are coming up right now, pay attention to them. They're there because they're ready to be worked through, and they know you're in the right place. We're going to lay the foundation for the empire that you're going to build, because it's your responsibility to do it, to take your power back from the system, to take your power back from the things that are designed to keep you stuck, small. Think about the ripple effect that begins to happen when you take your power back. Your children or your children's children someday. How much different things will be when you stand up and say, and I know you've already done this, and I'm inviting you to take it to a deeper level, the buck stops with me. I will no longer participate in these systems of scarcity. Even if you're running your own business, there's so many people who are still in survival mode and scarcity who run their own business. I would say the majority of the people that I meet on a daily basis, they still struggle with this. People who are in my masterminds, people who are making multiple 6 and 7 figures, I still see them trapped in the hustle cycle. Now, thank God, my mentor, James, teaches a lot about this as well. So he teaches those individuals to rest, to take time off, to follow their inner guidance, right? I just take it deeper because he's teaching business and strategy and all of that. I'm teaching energetics. So the Soul Powered Society is where you can come for all things money, money energetics, nervous system regulation around money, mindset, quantum physics and mechanics around money, manifestation, all of those things. We're going to be diving into all of them. I'm going to be revealing a brand new method that I downloaded over the last few months called the quantum recoding method. It's how to recode yourself on a quantum level. This is how we're bridging the gap. This is how we're bridging the gap between all this quantum understanding that we have in manifestation with real life grounded practices within the nervous system. Nobody's talking about this stuff, but you need both. And when you join the Soul Powered Society, you're going to get Expand, which is my signature program that has all of the things in it, all about the nervous system, all about uncovering your blocks. You get a liberation toolkit, all the tools. These are proven neuroscience-backed tools, trauma-informed tools, polyvagal-informed tools that you can use to let go of the blocks that are in the way of you standing in your purpose and your power and doing what it is that lights you up on this earth and getting paid handsomely, regardless of what it is that you're doing, because you're following your soul's path, because you're listening to your intuition, not to spite it. So if you're ready to learn how to do all of those things and you want to do it in a community with a mentor who's been there, who understands, who's walked the path before you so that you don't have to. I developed the process. I did the hard work so you don't have to. I have the time on my hands. I'm obsessively studying this stuff. You guys who've been here know this. It's my whole life, other than obviously my husband and daughter. But aside from those two, this is the biggest priority in my life. Where I spend the most time, what I invest most in. And I want to give that all to you. I want to give that to you so that you can step into your soul-powered life. That you can lead with love. Lead your life through intuition. Step into that next level, that bigger calling, that bigger vision that's on your life. The alignment assignment that is placed on your life that you know you're ready to step into and you're ready to answer. So if that's you, check out the show notes. All the information will be there. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for holding space today and just being here, listening to how this all came about. I'm so excited to see those of you who are going to join. This, I'm telling you now, it's going to be a massive movement. And you have the opportunity to become a founding member of something that is going to change the trajectory of the world for other entrepreneurs, for other online CEOs and creatives, for other sales professionals, for other people who are ready for more. And you have the opportunity to get into the ground level, because I'm telling you right now, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. And I can't wait. I can't wait. But I also can wait because it's going to all be in divine timing. And I want the people who are meant to be here as we move along. And I'm not interested in growing it just to grow. I'm interested in having the right people here. The energy of this container is more important to me than anything else. The integrity of this community, the safety of this community is more important to me than anything else. Far more important than just the money that something like this would generate. I'm offering this at the lowest amount, the lowest investment that I possibly can for this kind of community. So go check it all out. I cannot wait to see you on the inside. If you're ready to expand, you're ready to move into your soul-powered lifestyle, this is for you. We'll see you next time. Bye for now. If you loved this episode, then why are you stopping here? The next level in your journey is waiting for you inside of the expansion experience. This is my free training that gives you the 5-step trademarked and proven process
to break financial patterns, regulate your nervous system, and finally feel safe receiving more. Go ahead and click the show notes below and let's activate your next level together. And don't forget to follow, rate, and share this podcast if it lit something up inside of you. That's exactly how we build this soul-powered revolution together. Thanks again for showing up today, and I can't wait to catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.